Ko, Haloyam La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give a double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and grew well for the hope of 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanan. This one will be named Some Will Obey. That some is pertaining to the 1/3. Majority will pay. Majority being the 2/3 will pay the price of judgment. Okay, so what you're looking at is a depiction of the chariots. They're coming for two reasons. The first is to deliver Hawashai, salvation, to the election, to the hopeful, to the 144 and the 1/3. Also to bring on part of that judgment, okay, along with the ICBMs, the high concentrated heat lasers coming from these chariots will be putting the 2/3 and the rest of the nations out of their misery, okay? This is the book of Joshua 24 and 14. Now, therefore, fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods, lowercase GODS's, that goes into idols, serving false deities, okay? It could be yourself, it could be your possessions, but definitely of wood and stone, okay? Which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And one more time, this is Joshua 24 and 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, what is evil going to? Bad times. Well, let me give you an example of it seeming evil to our people. This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and 11. In those days in those days went there out of Yasharallah, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathens, the other nations around about us, the 17 nations around about us that are around about us. For since we departed from them, we departed meaning from their captivity, okay, where we've been led to captive, we have had much sorrow, okay? So this device pleased them well. The device of what? Being wicked, wanting to do as the what they say when in Rome, do as the Romans do, okay? Then certain of the people were so forward hearing in their mind, okay, that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance. What's the order? The ordinance, the order, the way of the heathen. Okay, so to follow their ways of living, not the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay. So once again, this is Joshua 24 and 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, was that not a good example? Okay. Choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether it be the lowercase gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, leaving only Noah and his family to be delivered about it, that the whole world was done away with, okay? Or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. Now, where do we dwell today? I dwell over here in spiritual Babylon. The Israelites are scattered to the whole four corners of the earth. You so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. That's why we always bring out the speckled birds. You look like the other nations. You could look like Moab, but your father's seed, his line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So therefore, to this day, we serve other gods of wood and stone. The number one icon over here in spiritual Babylon, Christianity, is that pale-faced, red-faced stringy hair, leopard hair, Jesus. Okay, and that's not Yahweh Shai. Okay, you can go to Revelations chapter 1, start at 13, read down, and it'll give you the description of a man that fits a so-called African American. Okay. Also, another good story is Bel and the dragon. When Daniel uh, showed the king that first of all, you was serving Bel of wooden statue of no spirit. Okay, he brought that to an end. Then, along with the priests who were manipulating the king to thinking that this Bel was actually a god, he set a trap for them, and they was found to be fried, so they was put to death. So then the king said, okay, well, how about this dragon? Daniel baked the cake and the dragon exploded, thus proving that none of these gods, there is only one true living power, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, okay, in whose land ye dwelt. But as for me and my house, my temple, we will serve Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, okay, ain't no way around it. Only means to salvation. This is the book of Second Maccabees 4 and 12. Book of Second Maccabees 4 and 12. For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself, and brought the chief young man under his subjection, and made them wear a hat. Okay, and we're going to go into who he is. Now, such was the height of Greek fashions, not Yasharallah's, not traditions. Okay, and increase of heathenistic manners. Okay, heathenish manners. Okay, through the exceeding profaneness of Jason, okay, that ungodly wretch, and no high priest. And to this day, we have examples of that spirit. You got brothers that think that it's acceptable to cover their head and preach, when we know throughout the scriptures we've been told not to do that. A man's head is supposed to be uncovered. It's like the antenna to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, opposite to the women who are supposed to cover their heads. Okay, so we have people that walk in this same spirit today, and they will be judged because of it. So-called leaders of Yasharallah that teach it, but teach with that profaneness. Okay, this is skipping down. This is 17, and take heed. This is Second Maccabees chapter 4 and 17. For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Those laws do what? They separate our nation. They give us our identity. They make us non-heathen. Okay, but the time following shall declare these things, and hey, the Lord does not slack when it comes to judging his children, but we'll get that. We'll keep going to get that. All right, this is the book of Revelations 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. Now, you've heard this before, and I'm not going to say brothers use this out of content, but when they use it, they should express. We know that we have the little hatters, the 48ers in our land, making a mock of the word Jew and Jewish-ish, meaning fake. But this scripture actually pertains to you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, and we'll show you why. Revelations 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. That's why that sounds like that pertains to the 48ers. But listen, behold, I will make them to come and worship before my feet. He's not going to do that to Edom, okay? And to know, well, I'm not saying he's not going to make them worship. and to know that I have loved thee. That's our people. He does not have love for a nation that he said he has righteous anger in the nation with forever, forever till they're destroyed. There is no salvation for Edom. So this pertains to our people. Okay, you false prophets out here, let's go down and start wars with these countrymen when Yahweh Bashim Shah said, wait on him. All right, let's take his name and profane it. Let's wear these hats. Let's not call on the name of Yahweh Bashim Shah, though we have Hebrew names. Okay, once again, IUIC, Israel United and Crazy. Okay, Sakari. All right, and read up on the Sakaris, what happened to them, by the way, for real. So once again, these spirits are here today, prepared for judgment. You know, this is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, starting at first verse. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Okay, perilous times. Let's get that perilous.
Strong's G 5467. Chalipas. Chalipas.
Kalipas, hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, dangerous times, harsh, furious, savage. Savage times are amongst us. We're entering this time right now, okay? For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Do we not deal with that, contend with that now? From family to people around you, okay? Lovers of their self. Where is that going to? Lowercase gods. They have made themselves gods, okay? Covering this, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. Now, if you're unholy, what does that mean you are? You're a Hellenistic. You're a heathenistic mind state. You belong with the Gentiles, okay? Once again, First Maccabee, chapter 1 and 11. A wicked man went out, all right? Unholy, okay? This is the book, and what sparked this, other than Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, placing it on my heart, the water Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. I've been in the Maccabees, and it's a beautiful read, okay? And it gives you examples straight to the election, okay? Because we walk in our lot. If you left here doing this, you'll come back doing it, okay? This is 2 Maccabees, chapter 6. And 9. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present miseries. So in this time, it was unlawful for you to say, hey, that I'm not going along with this wickedness. I know better, okay? And okay, skipping down. Oh no, Salakia. Back to this Revelations, chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the words of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, okay, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now, we know we're going into that time. That's the MOTB, where you're going to have the faith in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to endure this, because they're going to set you up and put you in a very bad case. Now, however, in the Maccabees, their time, we'll get into it, was the Hellenistic Greek and laws coming down on them so harsh to force them into that mannerism. And I'm going right back to it now. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, and we're going down to Salakia. Okay. 18. Elziar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance. What is that? That means he has a good word about himself. Was constrained to open his mouth, forced to open his mouth, and to eat the swine's flesh. We know pig, okay? We know that's unlawful. Why? Because they eat everything. They're human trash cans, okay? Along with the water cockroaches, all right? But he choosing rather to die graciously than to live strained with such an abomination spitted forth, okay? So he didn't even think twice about not eating it. Now today you can't convince our people not to eat the swine. All right? See the flip of the time? And come of his own accord to the torment. So he was willing to be punished on sight, right then and there. Do whatever you got to do, but I'm not going to disobey Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? Not for man, not for the fear of man at all. Okay? This is the book of Isaiah. We're going to back up why LZR was so against breaking this law of not eating swine. Why didn't he just say, okay, if it's going to save my ass here, I'm just going to chew it up right now. This is the book of Isaiah, last chapter, 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, plead with all flesh. Plead is not begging. This is punishing. And the slain of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, shall be many. That's right. You 17 nations, along with the 2/3 of our nation. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree. Who was that tree? That minister. Ha ha. Ha ha! I said, sweating with the handkerchief, patting his face. Pass that basket around. Ain't hit a precept in an hour or two. Okay, pass that basket around for the third time. In the midst, let me start that over. They that sanctify themselves in the whorehouses, okay, and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, past the pork chop, okay. Eating swine's flesh. Where do they eat that swine's flesh? Right down in the basement. We're in right after the ceremony. Okay, the right after the sacrifice, because that's what you're doing. You're giving a wicked sacrifice, and the abomination. Didn't say in Maccabees he didn't want to be no part of that abomination, and the mouse. And ain't no telling, you probably are eating mouses in there. All kind of mannerism of unlawful meats, okay? Call that shit kosher. Even the little hatters call swine kosher. They have kosher swine now. Come on now. Shall be consumed together, saith Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, shall be consumed. When you go back up, then he say that for by fire and by the sword. Okay, and then you go down and say they should be consumed. So when you're in these whorehouses, jumping up and down, passing out, then the sermon's over and you go down there and you eat the greens with pork in it. You eat the ham. We got Thanksgiving coming up. What's the number one plate? Turkey and ham. Okay, no, thank you. Yeah, you can eat the turkey, but you throw the ham on your plate. Okay, you going off. It's not justifiable. Oh, that's tradition. Tradition gonna kill you. That's exactly what you do. Whose tradition is it? It's Hellenistic, heathenistic tradition. Okay? Poured upon our people, forced upon our people. We're reading it right now in the Maccabees. Okay? Back to second Maccabee chapter 6. Now I'm a Hebrew hopscotch back up the block. This is 12. Okay? Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, okay? But that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for the chastening of our nation, okay? Because the Lord deals with his children. Who does the Lord love that he doesn't? Who does a father love that he doesn't correct? For it is a token of great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. Okay, let's get that over with. All right. When you want to prolong, I've never seen a child that knows they're going to get their ass whooping that just wants it to be prolonged. Okay, you may think you can go to sleep, but we got grandparents that'll wake your ass up and put that belt on you, and that does not feel any better. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, okay, and 1. Hear this word that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua has spoken against you, O children of Yasharallah, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, and Hispanics, against the whole family, okay, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, did he say you 17 nations? No, he said against the family, the nation, Yasharallah, he prince of power. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they be in agreed? Now, back in 1 Maccabees 1, verse 11, what was they agreed? That they wanted to be part of the heathenistic ways. They wanted rights. They went to the king so they could be granted license to do wicked, okay? This is back to 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and 14. For not as with other nations, whom Yahweh Bashim Yahushua patiently forbeareth to punish. Now, what did he tell Cain? Cain said, I can't handle this burden. He said, you will wonder this world is a vagabond. Cain now today represents Edom's seed. He said, I will deal with you. Okay? Now, that's why they're not in trouble like other men. It seems like they never get the punishment that we receive, whether it be from their courts or whether it just be getting dealt with, till they become to their fullness of their sins. Now, didn't he say the cup is filled up of Babylon? Their sins have reached up into the heavens. So dealeth he with us. So he's not allowing his children to get out of line like that. He's get your ass back in here. You know what I mean? You get out of line, he's snatching you by your collar, basically. Okay, for the most part, because you 2/3 seem to get away with a lot, but that's because you're being reserved for judgment. Straight up, whether it be the sword, the teeth of wild beasts, the famine, or them high concentrated ICBM missiles, or those concentrated lasers coming up out them chariots. You're getting saved for the grand finale too of judgment. This is the book of Jeremiah 30, starting at 6. Ask ye and see whether if a man doth travail with child. Has a man been pregnant? Naturally. Not today's wicked, bizarre world. Wherefore, when you turn to Satan's miracles to do things that are not of natural, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces turn into paleness. Now, this is this easy example. When you watch the cartoons and you see a cartoon character turn pale, you see them freeze up. You see like a ghost come up out of them, and they can't move. That's terror. Okay, so all you mighty men out here, strong men, weightlifters, gangbangers, gun toters that think that there is nothing that can bring you to fear, wait for it. It's coming. Elias, for that day is great, so that none never is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, okay? And we're only approaching it, but he shall be saved out of it. He, the election, okay? The 1/3, starting with the 144, okay? That's a promise from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. This is Revelations 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the words of my patient. And what is patient going to? Waiting and suffering, okay? I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, that MOTB, okay? which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. There's no way around it. Everybody that is living in that day will be tested by this, okay? And if you go along to get along, then you sold your soul to Satan. You've become Satan's slave, okay? That's why this is only for the election. You're going to have heathens that deny it, but they're not going to be saved through that manner. This is only for you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, okay? This is the book of Zechariah 13, starting at 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. And of our nation, that's all scattered amongst the world, not just here in spiritual Babylon. But the third shall be left therein. And everybody's not going to die when the nukes and the chariots come, because we're going to have slaves. We're going to have slaves left over to rebuild. But our nation, you're either going to salvation or you're going to your death, okay? And even if you die as a martyr, as one in the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you will be risen up with him, okay, the first time. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. Okay, that goes into your Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 2, starting at 1. Okay, they shall call on my name, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is my Abba Father, my Allah power. That's right. Okay. Back to the second Maccabees, chapter 6. And I feel like I skipped a point, but I'm not gonna. Okay. This is Maccabees chapter 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days. Okay, so we're coming into these times. Draconian laws are gonna hit hard very soon here. Okay, we're going into that New World Order mentality. You know, when Satan thinks he's about to fill his belly. And ancient feast, okay? So we couldn't do our Shabbats or our ancient feast, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew, okay? It was unlawful for you to even say who you are. Now, if you want to be technical, we're in that day now. This is considered wicked to speak bad of the Ish people. Look up what Ish means. It means faith. Look at their lifestyle. They do not match up to the scriptures at all. War is supposed to be done away with in 48. If you want to say that's when they walked into the land, war was supposed to be done away with. First of all, the whole nation was supposed to go. All right. You're not supposed to have one group of people. There's 12 tribes of Yasharallah. All right. This is a little briefing. But now this is what I was actually going to grab. I just remembered that that's of importance. Okay, now that's the time of the Maccabees, which was led by the same rulership now. Remember, it said evils increased upon the world, all right, around the time of Alexander. All right. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, starting at 26. Okay, for though the present time, Salakia, 2 Maccabees chapter 6, 26. For the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of man, and this is Elziar, the man who spit out the swine's flesh, who denied being part of the abomination. Yet should I not escape the hands of the Almighty. Now, where's the hands of the Almighty? Is he going to come out the sky and slap him? No. He's saying, I don't fear the punishment that's in front of me that the men could bring on. I fear disrespecting the Creator, okay? Who kills, who makes alive, okay? Neither alive nor dead. So let me read that again. Second Maccabees, chapter 6, 26. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of man, of what you can do to me, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Okay? Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such and one as my age requireth. Okay? And leave a noble example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously honor for the honorable and holy laws. That's right. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. So they put it on him soon as he got through telling them, I have nothing to do with your Hellenistic, hedonistic ways. I rather set an example for my nation to be obedient to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai than anything you can do. Okay, now in between now, and I'm going down to 31, they offered him to eat lawful meat long as he disguises it as he was doing as they said. So they wanted to use him to even allow him to eat lawful meat so they could tell the rest of them, look, he ate the swine, you do it as well. No. Okay, this is 31. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue. Virtue is power. Okay, because it takes power to believe in something that you don't see and not fear that's in your face right there. Okay, not only unto the young man, but unto all his nation. You so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. He was left a example. Now, I went on to read Maccabees 7 about the brothers, Second Maccabees and 7, the seven brothers who faced death rather than to eat the swine. Also, tongues cut out, the bodies decapitated right in front of each other, right in front of their mother, all in the time space of a day, and they all stood faithful. So you know they're of the hopeful, they're of the elect. Once again, you die in your light, you come back in your light. Okay? I pray that this has been edifying. I'm going to end this with Second Esdras, chapter 2, starting at 42. Okay? And I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai with song, called Haloyim La, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a higher stature, taller than all the rest, and upon everyone's head, everyone of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, off the wickedness, off our flesh, are dealing with our flesh, and put on the immortal. Okay, that can only be given through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, no more old man, and have confessed the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now are they crowned and receive palms. That's right. If you ain't doing it for this, you doing it wrong. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the son of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Abba, Father, whom they have confessed in the world. Did we not do that? Do we not call on his name in the Paleo Hebrew, the correct name, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? Okay, then begun I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly. And once again, what did Elziar do? What did the seven brothers do? And many other. I'm just using an example of of Maccabees, Judas. Okay, All of them, man, they stood stiffly for the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and you can't go wrong when you do that. All right, he's not letting down anybody. So once again, we pray that we're on board these chariots as a blessing for being obedient. Then what? After these chariots, we pray that we're part of this scene, receiving those crowns. Okay, and with that, I pray that this has been edifying. Shalom.